YouTube, good day, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today we are going to talk about the Albino Rhino Beer Festival that just happened. It happened on Saturday, May 14th, 2016. It was the third annual Albino Rhino Beer Festival. We had 34 alcohol vendors. We had 10 food vendors. We had a good time. Final numbers were 1,205 people through the gate. Great numbers. We were able to raise and donate $6,604.50 to the Ronald McDonald House in Hamilton, so that is also great. Lots of positives. Everybody was saying they had a great time. Great amounts of things happened. Big thank you to Grill's Cheese, who paid me their vendor fee as well as donated $50 to the cause. Big thank you to Double Trouble, who donated their entire reimbursement to the Ronald McDonald House. That was amazing, guys. And another big thank you to Forefathers, who also donated their entire reimbursement to the Ronald McDonald House. Without those two, we would have been donating $5,000. So $1,600. $1,600 came from those three reimbursements. So thank you very much, guys, for leaving those. Well, the two brewery reimbursements and the $50 extra. So thank you again for that. That made a huge difference. It made us give a huge amount of money. Basically, I would have doubled what I gave last year, but we almost tripled it because of them. So great. It felt great to hand that money to them. You know it's going to go to a good cause. Again, lots of positive things. People loved the time they had there. They didn't let the weather stop them. It was fucking cold. It was rainy for the big beginning. There was a lot of things that happened at the beginning. Flying Monkeys forgot to bring their beer gas, so they had to end up borrowing a CO2 regulator from somebody and an extra CO2 tank from somebody else. Nickelbrook forgot to bring their draft lines. Nickelbrook still did really well. They ended up having to do a jump and meet in St. Catharines to switch off for some brew lines. A lot of breweries forgot tables. It's a good thing I own a lot of tables now for the festival. A lot of breweries forgot tents. It's a good thing that between me and Brimstone there was 5 extra tents there. Lots of great times were had by all. There was 2 negative aspects of the whole festival. One, my security was not as visible as they should have been. We did have a good deal of security, but because of the cold day, they all put on their coats. So they were not visible, which allowed something to happen with one of the vendors. There was a drunk patron who did some things he shouldn't have done, and said some things he shouldn't have done. And they are in no way acceptable by me. They are in no way acceptable, period. So next year I'll have to have some sweaters and stuff so security can be visible. I do not want any of my vendors or any of my festival goers feeling uncomfortable or feeling threatened. So that is not something we can allow to happen again. And I'm very, very sorry it happened. And no woman should have to deal with some of the things that were said and done, and I need to get my security to be more vigilant and more visible. Then there is the question of, will the festival happen again because of one business owner along that street, who I am currently contemplating filing criminal harassment charges on. He does not like any festivals happening on Ridge Road. And that's fine. That's fine. There are 2 that happen. There's mine and Ridge Fest. He made it blatantly obvious he didn't like it. He hated that the road was closed. He hated that there was cars parked on street parking on a closed road that none of his customers could have parked on anyway because it was a closed road. He hated that they took until 7:30 to get out of their parking spots when the road was closed till 8. He hated that they drove down the street to get out. He hated everything. He was out to scream at me once. He was out to scream at me twice. He came back to scream at me a third time. All because we couldn't get the trucks moving fast enough for him. And like I said, we had till 8 p.m. He fought that. I should have brought out the paperwork. I wish I'd gotten some video of him freaking on me. Screaming at vendors, screamed at the guys from Block 3 to get their fucking car off the fucking street. Screamed at Niagara College that they're not allowed to be where they are. Banged on the truck and grabbed the antenna of the Cayman Kettle truck guy. Right there, buddy, you're lucky nobody plowed you. Because those are things that will get people angry. You've just assaulted them. Well, you've attacked them by attacking their property. That is criminal harassment right there, buddy. Criminal harassment. And you went on about how we have to respect your business and all that. Well, that's why we pulled the road closure barricades back as far as we did. We were actually supposed to have them up at Disher, so maybe next time I should do that. I should just keep them at Disher and your whole customer base can fuck themselves. Next time I shouldn't send all my vendors there to buy coffee. I shouldn't send my own volunteers there to buy coffee. We shouldn't spend $400 on coffee at your shop. How about this? You want people to respect you? You respect them. Punching somebody's truck, grabbing their antenna, and screaming at people? Not respect, Mr. Flying Squirrel. Not respect. Your coffee lounge might be on Ridge Road, and you might hate that there's a beer festival there. It never, ever, ever, ever gives you the right to scream at somebody about something like that, touch them, or touch their property. And I will be making a complaint to the city about you. And like I said, I am pretty sure that I will be sending the NRP to you with a incident report of everything you've done. But after that negative bit, everything was great, and hopefully we do it again next year. But we'll see, because I just don't care to deal with this guy. And if I was in my younger years, something bad may have happened to me. Oh, awards. So we did do our awards. Top beer went to Black Swan for their Raspberry Wild Child. I did hear a lot of people in interviews and stuff, now that I'm watching the footage, a lot of people were talking about a lot of different beers, because there was a lot of great beers there. I've heard a lot about a Raspberry Stout. I've heard a lot about, lots of fruit beers, really. I heard a lot about a couple of the ciders, like the Perry from Ironwood was apparently amazing. Top Brewer, People's Choice Top Brewer, which is the people voting, went to Forefathers, and Top Brewer also went to Forefathers, Top Brewer being the brewery that ended up having the most sample tickets sold, so the biggest reimbursement. And Top Food Vendor went to the food vendor from Waterloo that showed up, the Crazy Canuck. So there we go, guys. Hopefully we do this again next year. We'll see if I feel like doing Pints for Prostates again this year. It was a failure last November. I was contemplating doing it in Niagara Falls or St. Catharines this year just to see if it worked better. But we will see what goes on. Thank you, guys. Bye.